Right, let's go.
Hello, I'm Taeha, and today I am officially becoming a YouTuber. I mean, are you really a YouTuber if you haven't done one of these setup tour videos? This is the third studio slash workspace that I've moved into since I started
Rhino,
on
I
this
know what
career
that
path,
is.
but the first that I officially don't have to also
What is NSFW? Not safe for work, basically porn.
share and call my bedroom. So this video's been long overdue, and let's jump right into it.
Truck 2, yes, I've never felt that. Surely not. Haven't ever. I'm glad you did though. Like, look at this intro already, dude. What the fuck?
Let's start with the question that I get asked the most. Those of you guys following me over at Instagram and Twitter saw some of the behind the scenes and renovation process when I first moved into here. And the number one question that I got asked was, what color paint did I go with? One of my favorite channels to watch since I've discovered them last year has been a channel called Becky and Chris, and I've just absolutely been in love with their darker themed
Yeah,
aesthetics.
I don't know
I
if I
think it
like
looks
that.
really good on
But
camera.
his backdrop looks phenomenal. I wouldn't go for a gray hoodie myself, but
And after seeing it in person, I honestly think it looks even better in person. These walls were painted with the midnight color from Benjamin Moore, which Becky used in one of her older videos, I believe.
I don't even want to
And
know how
I'm in love with
much that paint costs. Johnny Silverhand, thank you very much, Johnny. Been playing, thanks for being in my psyche when I played Cyberpunk. Also, fuck you, Johnny boy.
it even after 4 months. If you guys are planning on going with a darker color studio like this, I will say keep in mind that you guys are going to want a lot, and I mean like a lot of light. Just regular lamps and bulbs don't really cut it for me anymore. I pretty much have my studio lights running 24/7, just because the dark
Also,
paint
these
really
fucking tube lights on the left here cost like $100 each, surely, probably more.
just sucks any kind of light that hits against it. So keep that in mind. But check out Becky and Chris, they're an awesome channel, and they're also an amazing couple. They're couple goals for me. But speaking of goals, let's talk about your internet security goals. This video was sponsored by Dashlane.
Hey,
As
gotta
an
make that
ex-software engineer that
cash.
used to work with endpoint management, it still baffles me how many people stick with default passwords or passwords that are around 8 characters in length. And also just the fact that websites still allow for this. In today's day and age, with everything being online and digital, it is
Fuck Facebook.
absolutely critical that you guys have strong passwords. And the number one thing you can do to increase your password strength is to simply make them longer. I personally always try to make my passwords at least 25
I mean, at
characters
least put some background music on the sponsor reading, otherwise it will feel like really fucking fake.
in length whenever possible, and you definitely shouldn't be reusing any old passwords. Now, of
Hey, I
course,
just realized he has this almost the same glasses as me.
memorizing hundreds of complex passwords is impossible.
Yeah, his video is very or his content is very relaxing. That's the whole. He very much goes for that vibe, Imanol.
And this is where Dashlane comes in. Dashlane is a
I'm not gonna skip it because I'm watching it for free. So
password manager that can not only generate randomized strong passwords, but also
for everybody that's searching for a password manager, don't get Dashlane. Get Bitwarden. It's a completely free a password manager that's just as safe.
saves and autofills all your passwords and login information on the websites you browse, so you don't have to memorize hundreds of complex passwords. They have both a desktop and mobile app, so all your passwords are always synced, whether you're at home or on the go. Even if Dashlane were to get hacked,
I just want to support this dude because he makes great videos.
your
That's why.
passwords are still safe, as all your passwords are decrypted locally on your device. Using a password manager like Dashlane
But that's a
really
long
puts your
sponsor
internet
read. Oh
security
my
practices
god.
above the average person. So head on over to dashlane.com
Yes,
types to
click
try
on
out
the link,
Dashlane
people.
for free. And additionally, use code TAEHA for 50% off if you do want to upgrade to their premium plan to gain additional features such as their built-in VPN and dark web monitoring.
Wait, they have a VPN?
Once again, thank you to Dashlane for sponsoring this video. Thankfully, this place has a decent amount of windows. Throughout the day, I can get plenty of natural lighting in the room, and since all
Look
the
at this
windows
room already. Oh my god, what the fuck?
are on a single wall, it's fairly easy to control and shape. Most of the time, I have these poly silk that I got custom made from the LA Rag House up as curtains.
Of course, it's custom made.
They're not the prettiest, but I like to use natural lighting whenever I can for my photography, and these are fantastic for diffusion. For video purposes, I'll generally have blackout
I honestly don't even want to know how much that camera costs that he just showed.
curtains up. These are just simple ones from Amazon. I'll have links to everything that I can find down in the description box below. Alright, so by the windows, this is what my YouTube video recording setup looks
I mean, look at this. Look at this camera, my god. I don't want to know how much that costs.
like. I recently upgraded to the Canon C300 Mark III for my A cam, and the Sigma Art 18-35 f2.8 lens
Oh my
lives on it for
god.
the majority of the time. I have it rigged out with a cage from Bright Tangerine, and attached is a small HD 702 monitor so I can see what I'm shooting better, since the default monitor on the camera is a bit small. The main tripod that I
Yeah.
use is the Flowtech 75 with the Sackler
Layla,
FSP
hey, what's
fluid
up?
head, and it's a game changer. It's so easy to change the height with this tripod, and you've probably seen it on a lot of other YouTube channels.
I mean, that is very
Here
cool,
we
but
have
that
an
costs
Uplift
probably a
V2
few $100
standing
bucks.
disc. This is 60 inches in length with their bamboo finish. Uplift did send this out for free, so thank you guys, Uplift. You guys are awesome. I do have another Uplift desk that I purchased many years ago that I use for streaming, which we'll get to later in this video. But I absolutely encourage everyone to get a standing desk if possible, as it does greatly help with
I mean, that Uplift company is pretty good as far as I know. Nice voice crack, by the way.
productivity and ergonomics. This one here is kind of an all-purpose desk that I use for a variety of things. I take a lot of my Instagram pictures on here, as well as some
There you go. That's his Instagram.
overhead B-roll shots for the YouTube videos. Which brings us to this beefy boy.
Well then,
Shoutouts to Random
let us
for helping me
retoin.
figure out how to rig all this. This is the Matthews Minimax Boom, and it is essentially a C-stand on steroids. And the reason
Oh,
why
he has another camera mounted on... What?
such a big stand is because, as of my last video, I have been filming all of my overhead shots with the Canon C70. I have it clamped here with a Mathellini clamp, and it has been pretty much spot on color matching with the C300, and I'll usually have other things clamped onto here like my mic, for example, or overhead lights. All of my audio is recorded with the Sennheiser MKH416 shotgun mic.
That's a very good mic as far as I know.
I only have one of these in the studio, so I'll usually move it back and forth from my live streaming
Oh,
setup
you poor soul.
to my YouTube filming setup. I do live stream every Tuesdays and Wednesdays
His
over at
streams,
Twitch.
his streams are very good, by the way. Very chill. I enjoy the jazz music in the background a lot.
So go follow me there if you already haven't. In past studios, I used to attach acoustic foam panels all over the walls. But this time around, I decided to forego it, as in my opinion, it always gets a little messy and it becomes a hassle, especially when you move. So instead, I have decided to opt to hanging acoustic blankets in areas as needed. I also have some acoustic blankets on a T-bar on wheels since I have a bit of floor space to work with now. And I have around 2 of these that I just move around as needed, and they also double up for bouncing or cutting light since they come with a black and white side. Okay, let's move on to lighting. For the past couple of months, I've been experimenting with a Swissbook lighting setup, using one of the acoustic blankets as a bounce and then an IntelliTech frame for a second layer of diffusion. I have the frames attached to some rolling stands from Impact, so I can move it around as needed as I shoot my YouTube videos from different angles or even just for photography. I used to light everything with the Aperture 120D Mark II for the past
Oh my god, this light costs like... I don't even know. What?
couple of years. For a setup of
Emma, yes, you can get turned on by camera quality. You just never seen actual 8K footage yet.
this size
8K raw. Always stay raw, guys.
now with 2 layers of diffusion, it's not strong enough, so I recently upgraded to the Aperture 300D Mark II for my key light. As for practicals, I've got some Aperture MC lights hiding behind some of the keyboards back there on the shelf. And of course, another question that I get asked often is, what are those tubes? Those are the Astera Titan tubes. If you've seen any music videos with LED tubes, chances are they're most likely from Astera. They're an industry standard. They're definitely not cheap, but when it comes to color accuracy,
Hold up. Astera light tubes. Let me check. Whoa, gonna click on that video really fast. Nice one. Hello, where can I buy this? Click trash website. I just want to buy this. There you go. I think I just had I think I just had a stroke. I think I just had a stroke. Anyways, they're a bit expensive in quotations. Anyways,
the battery life and just the number of effects you can do, the controllability of these with DMX, it's pretty insane. I've definitely been trying to get my money's worth out of them as they are overkill for YouTube, but I use them everywhere whenever I can. In terms of furniture in the studio, I don't have too much. I've had this bookshelf here for a while now. This is from Wayfair. I'm still not entirely sure what to put.
I don't have too much. Proceeds to have like thousands worth of camera equipment, lenses, keyboards that cost like $500. I don't have much.
Put on here as decor, but I've just kind of always had some keyboards on display, as well as some other tidbits from some other interests and hobbies that I have. Over on the opposite side of the room, I've got 3 gallon cabinets from IKEA, and it just so happens that they fit perfectly in this little crevice of the room. And this is where I store.
If you ask me personally, that is way too dark for a room. I couldn't. Holy shit. Very, very dark.
My keyboard stuff. In the first cabinet, I keep all of my switches, cables, stabilizers, extra PCBs and plates, and items that I probably grab a little less often. All these containers here I got from the Container Store, and they come in a variety of sizes.
How do you not like if I had a studio like that, just say fuck it, I'm not gonna be humble and flex on all these bitches. Who gives a fuck?
Works quite well for stacking. The second cabinet is for storing all of my keycap sets and desk mats.
Of course he has built-in LED lights, sure.
At least what I can fill. I mostly have GMK sets, but I do have my fair share of other brands, and luckily desk mats are the perfect length of the cabinet. The last cabinet has some of my small camera equipments like batteries, cables, spigots, and whatnot, and I also keep some extra desk mats down there. I'm really starting to run out of space for all of this. Okay, onto the final piece of the room, the editing and streaming station.
Oh my god. Okay, no, wait. The monitors aren't very expensive, no. Oh, of course you have a dedicated Canon G something.
Desk is from Uplift once again.
Oh,
It's with the 70, I really love the color, and the desk is still working fine. After a little over a decade, I finally invested in some nice speakers, and this is the latest addition to my studio. These are the Kanto Tuck speakers along with the Kanto stands, and they sound as good as they look. While they're not the most neutral sounding for monitoring, they definitely provide for nice listening sessions, and the connectivity options for these are abundant. I can easily connect these to a turntable if I wanted to in the future, my TV, or even Bluetooth for whenever I need to. I've always been a PC guy. I won't go listing all the specs on video, but I'll have the link to the PC parts in the description box below. And this one's pretty special as I built it with Christopher Yee, a great friend of mine. As you can see, I've gone for a triple monitor setup, and before you guys roast me about mixing curved and non-curved,
yeah, that looks trash, not gonna lie.
My bezel sizes, hear me out, okay? This monitor here on the left is the...
Okay, if he accepts a premise, if not, I'm gonna roast him because... why would you spend that much money on camera equipment and then not have like a proper monitor setup?
ISO CG279X, which I use for color accurate work and media consumption. On the right, I've got 2 165Hz monitors. The bottom one is the Asus ROG Swift PG279QZ, and on top is a MSI Optics Mag 272C.
Why do you have the curved one on top?
QR, which I was gifted. The other two...
Of course. MSI just gives him the monitor. Of course. I mean, what do I know?
I've purchased myself. Now, I'm not necessarily a fan of this triple monitor setup, but the longer I've streamed, I found it nicer to have multiple monitors, specifically for streaming purposes. They're not the greatest looking monitors, but the ISO is absolutely a powerhouse when it comes to color accurate work, and I've had no complaints with the 165Hz monitors. I was gifted one of them. I'm not gonna go just throw that away and get a new one just to make my monitors match.
At least he's right on that.
So that's why it is the way it is. I've got 2 of my monitors mounted to the Jarvis arms from Fully, and I use the Vivo monitor.
I mean, if you have a single ounce of complaint, even if I get gifted a fucking, I don't know, an ounce of shit, okay, I would complain there. But even if I would get the shittiest thing that's worth, I don't know, $2, I wouldn't complain.
Arm for the top monitor. For streaming, I use a Canon EOS R as my face cam with the RF 15-35 f2.8, and I have it rigged up to a Varipole system that I have along this back wall. I feel like Varipoles aren't mentioned enough on other channels here on YouTube, but they're great for freeing up real estate off the ground as they're quite sturdy and you can really hang a lot of weight off of them either horizontally or vertically. I've got a Manfrotto Magic Arm clamped onto the Vivo stand which holds the mount for the mic for when I stream. The RME Babyface Pro is my current audio interface.
Sure, the Babyface Pro.
Other great interfaces in the...
Let me Google that. RME Babyface Pro? £500, probably $600 just for an audio interface.
Past like the Apollo Twin, and while some of them do look nicer, I have been much happier using the Babyface. I get asked quite often
you've been much happier.
How I mount my camera overhead, so here it is finally. I've got a good old C-stand from Newer that sits to the side of my desk. While you can just use a regular C-stand, I have upgraded the extended arm to something slightly beefier, the impact boom arm, as I do have some heavy gear attached here. I have a second Canon EOS R for my overhead angle.
True, he has an overhead angle as well. Oh my. Oh my god.
This one has the RF 24-70 f2.8 lens. In order to hold all this, I have a super clamp that has a spigot that's then attached to a Manfrotto ball head. Super clamps are super handy, and I have another one off to the side that holds an Astera tube just to help with lighting my desk and a little of my head for separation.
Imagine buying all this gear for tens of thousands of euros to stream on fucking Twitch, where the bitrate is 6K max. And then taking that VOD and uploading it to YouTube. And then talking about color accurate work on your monitor. I mean, good on him because this is just one giant flex. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a studio like that?
Be sure to add counterweights as needed. If you guys do use C-stands for overhead mounting, you definitely don't want your gear to fall over and break. I just got a couple sandbags hanging off the end here. I've got an Alex drawer from IKEA here off to the side that has some more keyboard components.
The Alex drawer is very good.
Most of the tools needed for building a keyboard in here, but other than that, that's about it for the studio. I didn't go super into detail.
That's about it.
Into every component for the sake of time, but let me know down in the comments below if there's any area that you want me to separate out into a dedicated video, or if there's anything that I missed that you guys would want to see. This video was a long time coming. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.
That's about it.
See ya, nerds.
That's about it. People, that's about it. That's about it.